Good evening. How is everybody tonight? There we go. I'm trying to get my iPad going. This is Card Creating with Jean. My name is Jean Ducro, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in McFarland, Wisconsin. And welcome. If you are watching this on Facebook, please make sure you let me know that you are on, because we do a drawing every week for the cards that I had made the time before. So we're going to be doing a drawing tonight from the cards that I made on Sunday evening. And then tonight's cards will be drawn on next Sunday evening. So if you are on, please let me know that you are here, and I will make sure that I Sorry about that. I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, and still I get a telephone call. That's great. Hi, Rhonda. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So, what was I saying? And if you would like to hit the like button and follow, so you know the next time I do a video, that would be awesome. Thanks, Rhonda, for sharing. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot and helps me a lot, too. And then if you're watching this video on YouTube, which I post all videos to YouTube later, then give me a thumbs up. And if you want to be notified when I post videos, click on the bell, and that will notify you when I upload another video onto YouTube, excuse me. So anyway, the hunt for my glasses, I did find them. They were in my work bag. My work bag is black on the inside, and the case is black. So when I got done with my live on Sunday night, I went upstairs and took everything out of my work bag, and lo and behold, there they were on the very bottom. I was so grateful that I didn't have to drive back up to Green Lake to pick up my glasses. That they made it home with me. So yay. That was a small victory. So today was a nice day out. I was able to get out with my husband and clean out our gardens in the backyard. I had to do it in 2 stints because my back was not happy with me bending over and picking up and pulling and what have you. So we got one of the gardens that circles our backyard done, and then I have a larger garden bed off to one side that we got done later in the afternoon. So everything is done and put to bed for the winter. I'm so excited and happy because I don't normally get it all done. And thanks to my husband for slogging it out with me and helping me get the stuff pulled. And he was able to cut down a couple of trees that were growing where they weren't supposed to, and put up some Christmas lights in the backyard around our arbor. And so we got a little bit of everything done today. Enjoying the outdoors, and probably maybe the last nice warm day that we have for a while. So, and last night I stayed up till too late working on stuff for my craft sale that I'm going to be part of at the beginning of December. So I think without further ado, I'm going to flip the camera down. We're going to get started. So we're going to be using the Ornamental Christmas dies along with a bunch of other stamps from other sets. So let me flip the camera and stand up and get us set up. Get it down here so you get a good view. Oops, sorry. Got my big hand in the way. Let's see how far this goes back before I lose it. Yeah, we'll pull you this way a little bit. Well, I'm going to give it a try. If it happens to be that it's too far away when I stamp, I'll have to try to pay attention to what I'm doing here. So we're going to use the Ornamental Christmas set of dies, and the dies that we're going to use are the Christmas tree, the ornament, and the circle. And I'm not using, at least I don't think I'm using any of the stamps. No, I'm not using any of the stamps from the set. We are also going to use the Christmas greenery dies, and the only die I'm using from this is the ribbon. And from the Delicate Pines, we are using the pine boughs. Trying to remember what else I pulled out. These are the stamps. We're using the greetings and the evergreen and the snowflake, and then the one pine bough. And I'm using, I think, a couple of the dies from this set as well. The Jolly Holly, I'm using the Merry Christmas and one of the sentiments for this one. So, we're going to start out with a pretty easy card, I think. And we're going to be using the Christmas tree. And let's see, put those aside so I don't lose them. We're going to use a white base. We're going to use the Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP, a small piece of that. This is what's on the opposite side. I love this paper. Probably one of my favorite papers. You know, I say that about every one that I use, don't I? Hi, Nancy. Hi, Shar. So glad that you could join. We're just getting started. So we've got a piece that is 8.5 by 5.5, and we scored it at 4 1/4. And I have another piece that is, I think, yep, 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to be placed on top. We are going to use the Cut and Emboss folder, Peaceful Greenery. This is the one that has the doves with it. And we are going to use it with this piece of paper. But we are going to need to try to line this up. Let's see. What I want to do trying to think how I did this the other night. This paper lines up perfectly with the line at the bottom here, so that I just want to make sure that we're even all the way around. And what I want to do is I want to cut this tree out and get it centered. So let's just try this as kind of a hit and miss here. I did it another way and I can't remember what I did. I think I did it backwards and had it taped. Nope. Needs to go over to the left just a smidge. Maybe you know of an easier way to do this, but oh, and then I went too far. Of course. Just a hint more. Yes, it went much easier the other way that I did it. There, perfect. Okay, so we're going to cut this out first. Make sure that the paper is still lined up. Yep. And then we're going to run it through with the embossing folder. Because if I did the embossing folder first and then ran it through with the die, you're going to lose the definition in the imprint from the embossing folder. So let me bring this over. And I wasn't thinking, and I have it all set up for the embossing folder, so hang tight here while I get the other stuff pulled out. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Yeah, it just doesn't stay very well, Shar. So this is what I had done before is I flipped it over and I was working on the back side of the die so that I could put it in, and I laid it on here exactly where I wanted it. Put the paper over the top, and then I closed it and I pushed down on it so that the tape actually stuck then to the paper. That's what I did. So I'm just going to bring it back. Okay, so I'll take this off. And I don't specifically care to use tape on these because you run them through, it always leaves just a little bit of residue. And hang on to the little tree because we're going to use that on the inside of the card actually. So I'm just going to grab my little glue eraser and just, I can feel there's just a little bit of residue right here where the tape went across. Okay. Now we will line this back up again. I don't think you can see this so well. Lining it up with the bottom. Like so. Put our fold in first. And then our number 4 plate. I'm going to scooch this back, sorry. I do have you guys close tonight. And this is a 3D embossing folder, so you do have to take out that thin layer. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Okay. And I absolutely love the look of that embossing folder. It gives a really rich look, I think. Alright, so this is going to be very easy peasy. And the idea is we are going to glue this to the card base so it is going to show like so once we put that on. So let's go ahead and glue this on. I'm going to use my mono glue for this. And it really came out, so I'm going to have to, there. I think this should do it. Let me just double check here. Looks good, except I'm going to try to straighten it a little bit. Not that it really matters, I guess. That looks good. Perfect. Okay, so now, whoops, I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back. I'm going to put one on each side here in the center. Once you run it through the embossing folder, it does tend to make the paper not quite as rigid. So don't be afraid to put some extra dimensionals on. Okay. Put that around and do my take your pick tool. I am still waiting for that truck kit to come back in stock, and I'm hoping that it will. I noticed on the list of items that are out right now, no longer are not available. That come on, I don't want you to get grabbed so quickly. That a lot of stuff is going to be available as of the 17th, and I did write down a list of those things. There's a lot of paper that isn't available right now, DSP, and that will become available on the 17th. There was like one thing that was on the 24th. Oh, two things that were on the 24th. They were both gems or sequins. Okay, so that's the front of our card. And we are going to put, I thought it would be pretty to just put we could put the silver or we could put the dark colored. What do you think? This one or the darker color for the star at the top? Let me know which one you think would look best. One or the other. Scoot it in a little closer for you. Show you what the how would you go with the green? Or actually, I think it's pretty peacock. I put the clear one on the one that I made, but this does look pretty as well. What do you think? Silver it is. Thanks, Rhonda. I was like, is there anybody out there? You weren't answering right away. Oh, let's see. I'm going to try to move this so it's okay. Now for the inside, I'm going to take our little Christmas tree and I'm going to also go over it there with my perfect. All right. We are going to stamp the sentiment of, may the spirit of the season bring you hope, happiness, and love. And we will do that in Shaded Spruce. Right away, gotta stick my thumb in it. I think if the blocks were 3 inches thick, I'd still stick my finger in the ink. Now we're going to just line this right up here. It works just slick. Like that. You can see what I did. Okay. And then we're also going to stamp in here Merry Christmas. I decided not to put a sentiment on the front. You could certainly do that if you wished, you know, across the middle or whatever. I decided I thought it was so pretty the way it was, I didn't want to put that on. But we're going to put the Merry Christmas on. It looks pretty close. And we're just going to glue this in below it. You could, if you wanted to, brush a little of the shaded spruce around the edge. I didn't on mine. I just want to see how this lines up because we want to put, let's see, that's going to be fun. I want to put one of the snowflakes on top of this tree as well. This is one of those that I think would be so easy to mass produce. If you wanted to. Oops, that is definitely not straight. That's better. Let's see. Come over to the side a little bit. So, I think we're just going to put one of the smaller snowflakes at the top. And I'll put that one right on there. I just wanted them not to, and they don't. I didn't want them to stack one on top of the other because it might have meant that you needed extra postage. Let me put this away, and we've got our first card done. Yeah, I thought, ooh, is that message going to fit on this tree? Doggone, it does. Little something different. You could even probably, if you weren't using this on there, you could put the tree, this tree over to the side a little bit and have this one on top with the sentiment if you wanted to. There's all different ways you can do it. But I really love this embossing folder, and I have not used it much at all. Shame on me. We have too many pretty things to play with, I gotta tell you. So, anyway, that's card number 1. Now, card number 2 has got a little more detail to it. Get these out of the way so they don't. We're going to be using a white base. And we're going to be using Old Olive and Shy Shamrock. And Shaded Spruce, I believe. I gotta look here a minute. Yep, Shaded Spruce. Oh, and I also need Cherry Cobbler. And we've got a lot. So, I'm not going to cut the ornament out. I already have. Just save a little bit of time. And this we do have to cut out, though. Let me get all of this out. So we're starting with a standard base of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a piece of DSP that we're going to use, and that is 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to go on the front. We also have a piece of Cherry Cobbler DSP cardstock that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and that is going to be matted onto the DSP before we put it on the front. But I do need to have a circle, so we're actually going to cut our circle out of the center of this because it's going to be hid by the DSP, so saving on a little cardstock. What am I doing here? This is what I want to do. So let me just run this through quick. You've done enough of this that I don't think I need to show you how to cut a piece of something, a die out. Yesterday when I created this card, I actually wasn't thinking of how I was going to put it together, and I cut the circle way over to the side, but I had just enough space to hide it, which I was grateful for. Okay, I don't think I need this for anything else now. I think we're done cutting. I think I did all the rest of it. Okay, so we can go ahead. Oh, this chair does not want to roll sometimes. We're going to put this on here. Alright, and we can go ahead and mount it on here. So each one of these pieces is 1/8 of an inch smaller than the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, now let's have some fun. This is actually going to go on there, but let's take our ornament and do some stamping. And what did I do with the stamps? Alright, we've got the snowflake. This is going to be used on the inside, so I'm going to put that. Ah, that's where that little red star went that I lost. I want to left the sticky behind. Hang on a second. I'd like to be able to reuse that if possible. Oh, I got stuck on one of the other ones. Oh, for Pete's sakes. There. There. Woo! Save that one. Okay. Let's see. And I'm not going to use this. Changed my mind on these little guys. Do something a little different. Okay. So we're going to take the shaded spruce and we're going to put a couple of evergreen branches. One up here and one down here. Trying to get it down to where it's almost to the edge of the die cut. So there isn't a huge space. Try to do it straight if possible. There we go. And then we're going to put, I think that's it for this one, some snowflakes in Shy Shamrock. And this is a color I have not used a lot, but it goes really nice with the shaded spruce. I'm going to stamp the first one in the center. I almost think you know what I'm going to do? We're going to make this a little different. We're going to stamp off the other two. See how it looks. Hopefully it's okay. Not bad. My sample looked a little bit lighter than that, so I thought, maybe we won't do that. Okay. Now, I did go ahead and cut out, using the gold foil paper, some leaves. Why, that looks, I guess it's fine. And the top of, oh, there is a piece that I didn't do. Nuts. Gonna have to get that die cut back. But we'll see what we think about it. We're gonna put that at the top. And I'm going to use my seal to put that on. Just makes it a little easier. Like so. Now let me grab my gold. My little bit of gold that's left. Alright, where is it? There it is. Stuck to the other one. Alright, let's see. Show you what I did. Is I took this and put it down here and ran it through so there would just be enough gold to cover this bottom part of the die cut. Let me run that through. I'm going to slide it over so that it just looked bare without having something on it. And that's why I thought, oh, I'm going to try putting a little of the gold foil on the bottom. Whoop. It does not have to be perfect, because we are going to put the sentiment right across where it meets there. So you aren't going to actually see the top portion of it where it goes into the white. Alright. Up. I knew there was something I would forget. Like so. Alright. And get our, oops, that's not on there exactly the same. Come on. There. Okay. We are going to glue this directly on. Try to get this to line up even. There. Okay. I'm going to bring it down to the point there, so it, wanted to move it up so you could see it. let's see, I cut out the bow, and we're going to assemble that next. I'm going to just pop it out of here. Oh, there it popped out. My little magnetic board is getting full. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue here. And a tiny dollop of glue on top where the knot's going to go. And this is flipped over. There we go. I hope you're able to see this. Okay. I cut out 1.5 of the little pine bough from the that's a Delicate Pines set. Let me just get that out of. I tried to keep them in the dies so that you could see them. This one you have all those little holes, and I'm going to try to keep this in the basket and not on my floor like it always ends up going. Okay. A couple spots there. There. All right. And then a couple of the branches as well. This is Mossy Meadow and Old Olive, and then the gold. And that's what we're going to put together with it. It's going to be really pretty. Okay, so on this I'd like to add a little bit of Winkostella, just to have a little more bling on the front. So we'll put that on and let it sit while we are assembling the rest of it. It's really pretty what Winkostella does to this colored cardstock. Makes it deeper and it shows the sparkle quite nicely. Okay. I don't know if you can see that real well. I'm going to attempt to move this guy up here out of the way. You can wipe the wink off there. Okay. We can go ahead and put this on here. Did I? No, I did not. Okay, I had to check to see if I used any dimensionals. I did not. You like the trees, Nancy, huh? Me too. It's kind of not quite on center. I mean, this is something that if you wanted to put some ribbon on here, you could do that. That cherry cobbler ribbon with the gold on the side would look really pretty on there too, but I was thinking I might have enough with what I've got going on here. Okay. We are actually, I'm trying to think, how did I do this? Ah, I tucked it behind. That was not so good. Okay, we're going to cut that off. I was a little too quick on the draw there with the glue. One right there, and one other side. We'll put the gold one in the center. Yeah, I gotta take a little bit off of that because it won't go down far enough. Don't want it to exceed past the top of the card there. That's perfect. All right. Now I gotta try to get the glue off my fingers. All right, let's cut. We're gonna cut these guys off that little circle. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back. Not a lot. When I tried to put just the evergreen down, there wasn't enough, it just sort of got lost. See, it needed to have something behind it to give it a little, I guess I need to come up a little bit further with the glue. Yeah, just a little bit. Just needed a little something there. One over here. And having that darker behind it made it pop a little bit more. Putting just gold was just going to be, I thought, a little bit too much. And I kind of like them not specifically all the way laying down flat. I like the ends curled a little bit. It gives it a little more life. Okay, now we are going to add our bow, and we're going to add that right above here. And I'm going to use a dimensional that I've cut down. So I take my mini dimensionals and I've cut just a little strip here that I'm going to put on the back center. And then I'm going to take a couple glue dots and add them onto the ribbon just at towards the bottom. Let go of my finger. Like so. You can choose whatever color you want to for this. I was trying to just pick up the colors here in the DSP. And then I actually, let me show you mine. I stamped the little berries in there and added a little Wink Stella on. We're gonna put stars on it. Kind of hard to pick them out under the paper. It's the one that was a little. I'm gonna put a star here. A star. Come here. Here. And then let's see, I think I'll put it up here. It doesn't want to stick so good if it's on the evergreen. I don't know, is this going to stick? I really want it down. Well, let's give it a shot. Yeah, that's stuck. Okay. Now we need to have a sentiment on here, and I thought we would use the, what is this? It's the most magical time of the year, and that is from the Delicate Pines stamp set, and we are going to stamp it in Cherry Cobbler. I don't specifically care how lined up this is because we're going to cut it out. Just so I have a good image. Alright. Cover this up for a minute. This away for a minute. Alright. This is a nice one to cut out. Whoops, wrong scissors. Because it's mostly even across the bottom and the top. It just has these two little areas. So if you're not one that cares to fussy cut too much, this one's a good one to do it on. Because it is quite easy to get it to go fairly nicely for you. I hope they come out with some new scissors. These are starting to get dull. Like it feels draggy on the paper. A little dot there for the eye. I'll point it on the end. Take that off of there. There. Okay. And like I said, we are going to mount that right over the top there, so you can see how that helps cover that edge up so that it's not quite so stark. But again, I'm going to use those little cut these down. All right, let's see here. And I'm putting a number of these on because this is another piece that can get saggy on you if you don't put enough on. If you want it to lay nice. I mean, they're just little tiny bits of things. Oh, I think I might have cut just enough. I did. So I don't know if you can see that, how many I put on there. Alright, let's get the backings off. These are going to be fun. I think I can do better with my fingers. Okay. Good to have it right side up. Get all these little parts and pieces out. All right. So and there's the front. The inside, we will stamp with our pine bough in Old Olive. Try to center it. then we will put the word "celebrate the season" in cherry cobbler. And that's going to go underneath it. And then I took the cherry cobbler blend, and I'm just going to add some berries here and there. And we will hit them with a little Stella to bring out the color a little bit more. This piece is 3.5 by 4 3/4. This piece for the mat is 3 3/4 by 5. So it's 1/4 of an inch larger. I thought, ooh, I think I like to have a little bit bigger border on this one. So I think I'll just add, since I got the Wink of Stella drawing on there. Just go like so. Alright, this is going to go on the inside. Glad you like it. There you go. Always get ink on that finger. I have a stain that's in my finger, on my fingernail. Okay. And now I'll show you the one that I made. I'm sure I stamped off on those because that looks like the same color. You just never know. Alright, let me get the other one out that we made tonight. They're both, I think, quite pretty. One is simple and one is more fussy. So, I have our cards for our drawing tonight. I'm glad you guys like it. I hope you don't mind the putziness I sometimes do, but I don't know, I kind of like it. This one would take a lot to mass produce, but you know, if you're making a card for somebody special, why not? I just think, I don't know if you can see the sparkle on that ribbon is so pretty. And then you add in these gems, which are so nice. I love it. Okay, let's do our drawing. For the cards we did on Sunday night, pardon me. And there they are. Great outdoors. Can't thank you enough. Thanks a million. Love them footprints. And let's explore the great outdoors. Happy birthday. So, let's see who is lucky tonight. Got one. Carol Fremstad. Is she on? Yes, you are on. Hot diggity. Let me get my pen. So, Carol, let me know which one you want. And I am happy to send it to you. And before I forget, those of you that were at Shar's on the 1st of October, when we did those kits, did that kit together with the truck, I am still hoping that those are going to come back in stock. And if they do, you guys told me how many kits you wanted, who wanted what. I'm just going to go ahead and order them because they probably aren't going to stay in stock very long. And I'm hoping that they are going to come out around the 17th like everything else is. So let me give you the rundown of what I happened to see on there that had to do with Christmas things. So the traditional sparkling gems are going to be available $11.24. Those are the flat sequins. Oh no, hang on a second. Traditional sparkling gems. That might have been the ones that I just used. Where are they? Nope, these are faceted snowflakes. I'm going to have to look those up. Hang on a second. I might have put them down twice. Yes, the sparkling sequins are $11.24 that they'll be available. Those are these, the flat sequins. And let's see, Traditions of Christmas, the 12 by 12 paper. That's this one, $11.17. Tags and More. Oh, I've got that one sitting here on my desk. I happened to order that. That's this one. That one's $11.17. Greetings for You ephemera pack. That's all full of greetings done in like gold foil. Those are available $11.17. Pattern tags. Pattern tags. I thought that was paper. I can't think of what it is. $11.17. And that's it. If you like the, Ellen, I can't remember what they're called. Forget it, I won't even tell you because you want the left one, this one? Okay, Carol, I'll send that one to you. I'll get the sticker on the back of it so I can remember which one. Excellent. The other thing I wanted to tell you is I am planning, and I'm in the early stages of planning this, in December doing a brunch and bingo here at my house. So it'll be brunch, bingo, and boxes. So I'm going to serve brunch. It's a Saturday, and I think I'm probably going to do it at 11 o'clock. I'll write it down here. And we'll do probably a box and a bag and things like that. I don't have it priced out yet. Stay tuned on that. But that'll be here at my house. Serve you brunch, and we'll play bingo for some prizes. And I think we're going to have a big drawing from that one as well. So you'll be able to get tickets when you arrive for different things. So I just have to sit down and put it together. But if you're interested in coming to my house in McFarland, I'd love to have you. And be a fun way to kind of end our year together because it'll be close to Christmas. So anyway, I have nothing else to tell you that I can think of. So I think I'm going to do another Sunday night. That seemed to be a good night. Saturday night's just as good, but it's a little bit easier for me. I don't like the fact that Sunday and Tuesday come so close together, but I'll get used to it. And just make sure that I plan ahead. When I plan for one night's videos, I will plan for 2 nights' videos, and then I've got the rest of the week to try to catch up. So, here's what I was working on. I showed Shar a picture of it. This is done on one of those pillow boxes. I had 2 packages of them, so I started working on them yesterday. And it was a lot of work. I colored the background with a blending brush, and that's pretty peacock. And then this is embossed in copper. And then I had some copper foil paper left over from last year. So that's on my agenda tonight. All I have left to do is 9 of these embossed, heat embossed things, and then I can put those together and I'll have 10 finished. But oh my goodness. So they can either hang on the tree or be given as a gift. I haven't decided what I'm going to put inside yet. They will not hold a gift card. That's the only unfortunate thing. They will hold candy and little things, so I'll have to see what I'm going to put in there. Oh, that one's really in there. So, anyway, that's about what I've been working on. Not much else. I'm going to hopefully get started on making the hot cocoa holders. So, like, I've got enough to make 24 of those. So hopefully I can get some of those done. Be fun to show you too. Oh, now I know what I'm going to tell you. I wanted to show you, we are going to, on Sunday night, work on using these dies, which is something I have just barely started using. I think I've made 4 tags with this thing. So the pattern tags dies. Didn't come a stamp set, it's just the dies. So we'll make some cards with them. There's no reason why we can't make cards with tags, right? That's what I think, at least. Anything's fair game when it hits my desk. So anyway, I'll see you Saturday night. The time will be 6:30. I would prefer the 6:30 time slot for right now. And then we'll do the Tuesday still at 6 o'clock. So thank you all for tuning in, for joining, and for sharing, and everything that you do. And oh, today's the first day with the new items that are on the online exclusives too, so check those out. And I will see you on Sunday night at 6:30. Bye-bye.